Greeting, HMC friends, and may you know the presence of Jesus that is with you today. There have been many ways in which the messages of Christ have been given across the centuries. And we must remember that for many decades, as well in many circumstances, people were not literate. They couldn't read or write. And so one of the common forms of expressing the message is what we see in stained glass windows. Those core Bible stories that share some of the gospel stories, some of the attributes of who God is, so that people would be reminded. Another form was the form of hymn writing, worship songs, in which many of our doctrines and our understanding of God is communicated. We know that Charles Wesley, the brother of John Wesley who founded Methodism, took a lot of the pub songs of that time and rewrote the words, which we now call beloved hymns. Love divine, or love's excelling, speaks about the love of God, so that people could hear the message and understand it, even though they maybe couldn't write it. We know too that sometimes in our own circumstances, when things are difficult, we sing a song or a hymn, a song of worship that reminds us or comforts us or expresses some of that for us. You may notice that in many of my devotions, I often share hymns because they're not always as popular today as they used to be. And yet there are many members of HMC who love and cherish them. And there's one hymn that I really love. No, I can't say I have a favorite hymn. I've got a number. But probably if you came to my funeral one day, you would hear this hymn. And it's actually an evening hymn. So not sung that much, as our traditional services are generally early in the morning. The beautiful evening hymn called "The Day Thou Gavest, Lord, is Ended. The darkness falls at Thy behest. To Thee our morning hymns ascended. Thy praise shall sanctify our rest." It was written by an Anglican priest. He had been teaching a class on mechanics and was walking home and was inspired by the beautiful sunset. And it reminded him about God. But he gives some beautiful messages. "We thank Thee that Thy church unsleeping, while earth rolls onward into light, through all the world her watch is keeping, and rests not now by day or night. As o'er each continent and island, the dawn leads on another day. The voice of prayer is never silent, nor dies the strain of praise away." Reminding us of the eternalness of the church. We may be going to sleep, but there are others who are just starting their praise and their worship. That as we see those pictures of heaven where God's praise is endless, we can understand it in these earthly terms. As another verse says, "The sun that bids us rest is waking our brethren 'neath the western sky. And hour by hour fresh lips are making Thy wondrous doings heard on high." What a beautiful picture that the praises of God never end. They continue hour by hour and minute by minute. That is such an assurance particularly in the darkness of the night, that we have brothers and sisters who are praying and praising. And sometimes we can hold on to that. But he continues to say not just the church, but he speaks about the kingdom of God. So be it, Lord, thy throne shall never, like earth's proud empires, pass away. Thy kingdom stands and grows forever, till all thy creatures own thy sway. What a promise of eternity, that these things that we may see come and go, but God remains steadfast. What a hope for us. What a hope for people who maybe suffer under violent empires. I'm sure that for the people of Ukraine at the moment, for the Christians of Iran, of Afghanistan, there is the hope, yes, these things will pass away, but Christ will remain. So it may pass, but Christ shall remain. And so as he wrote these beautiful words, it was actually others who added to the beautiful tune. And it's often been known as St. Clement's, the tune, because that is a tribute to the musician who wrote it. So today we thank God for Clement, who wrote the song, and John Ellerton, who saw that sunset and expressed that word that we may enjoy it. So do go to the song today and enjoy with me one of my favorite hymns. God bless and take care.